Should be too easy. We'll keep it moving. And then I'll beat you after that.
In that
Actually,
order, sure.
yeah, in that order. Honestly, bro, I think oh, it's going. Hold on, I'll tell you in just a little bit. Let me post it in the group chat. I think I really underestimated you last time. I thought you'd be worse after so long off. So I'm gonna have to really lean forward and play this game well. Plus, I already told Herc that I was gonna sweep the division this year, so
Yeah, I don't know. He's been playing pretty well too.
I
So
can't believe he beat Newt like that, bro.
no, he's good. He wasn't. He was just getting back into Madden too, but he's a good user.
All right, that's what's up.
That's what's up.
All right, here we go.
Here we
Oh,
go.
I can hear myself
I can
echoing
hear
in your
myself
mic.
echoing in your mic.
I don't know if there's any way to
I don't know
fix
if there's
that.
any way to fix that. Probably not.
Oh shit. Oh shit. All right, here we are back with the week 4. God, it's difficult. Can you try unplugging it?
Can you try unplugging it?
Plugging it back in? Yeah, it wasn't doing
Can you
it.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it wasn't doing it a second ago, and it's good now.
Okay.
Anyway, here we are back with a week 4 predictions video, joined by the league's founder and owner, Dean. How's it going, bro?
It's good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really glad to have you here for the predictions video. It's been a long time needed. If anybody else is interested in doing a predictions video, make sure you get with one of the commissioners. That's myself. I'm the Bears user. Dean, he's the Packers user. Adrian, he's the Ravens. CJ, he's the Seahawks. Dwayne, he's the Cowboys. And E-Fly, he's the Bills. Also, get with any of those commissioners and admin if you have any issues with the way people are playing, or if you believe someone's cheating or something like that. Make sure you get with one of us, preferably with proof, because if you don't have proof and they say they didn't do it, I'm not really sure what we're going to be able to do for you. I mean, unless they flat out admit it. Anyway, great job to everyone getting their games done and played. We're in season 8 now, and we're still getting 95% of our games played, which is just amazing. Really happy to see everybody doing that. Going to be a normal predictions video. We're going to do the players of the week, and then we're going to get into these predictions. I know that a lot of games are kicking off here soon, including mine and Dean's games, so it'll be really interesting. Make sure you're streaming those divisional games and the games of the week. So let's do the players of the week first. We'll start with the AFC side. Let you take that, Dean.
Sure. So on the offensive side for the AFC, halfback Jackson for the Buffalo Bills ran for over 200 yards, 3 total touchdowns. Also caught 92 receiving yards in that win for the Bills. That was a tough game for you, Jason, I'm sure.
Yeah. I don't remember that game.
Trying to stop that guy. He was on a tear on defense. The Jags got 5 sacks out of Sherman, defensive end.
Yeah, the worst part about that game for me was there wasn't any big, huge runs besides one, I think. He's just chipping away at me over and over and over again. I mean, you see, he averaged 10 yards a carry. Man, I did not know Michael Jackson is that fast. Anyway, for the NFC Offensive Player of the Week, looks like Bryce, your protege, Bryce Love. I thought maybe just because he was a rookie last year, I think his name's Relate Brown, was getting the carries, but he looks like he's the full-time starter now for the Redskins. 23 carries, 225 yards. He also had a catch for 5 yards. And Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the free safety for the Saints, with 7 tackles, a pick, and a touchdown. So at least something good to look at there for the Saints in that Week 3 loss to the Jets. I mean, to the
Those
Bengals.
Redskins are off to a hot start. They're undefeated. And Redskins, if you're watching this, I would like to trade for Bryce Love. I want him back, so just let me know. But yeah, those are the players of the week. If you would look real quick, week 1, the NFC, that's a player of the week, Tyree Jackson, both weeks. He's finally been unseated.
Oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. Wow, yeah,
He had a good game. He had 3 touchdowns, 350 yards, but it wasn't enough to pass Brown. So those are players of the week. I should take a look at the schedule. See who we got. Each game. This top one, let's see the Bengals and the Jets. Is that what you're seeing on your screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. The 2 games of the week we got are going to be the Bengals and Jets, and the other one was the Rams and the Eagles. 2 playoff teams. Rams still undefeated. Bills and Broncos was a good one as well, but Broncos are 1-2. But I think it should be a good game regardless. I tried to pick the divisional games because they're going to get streamed anyway, So but definitely going to be really interesting. I know I cannot wait to see how Savon plays against his old team.
Yeah, he's going to have to. I mean, obviously, good users on both sides. Savant's going to have to find a way to maximize his team's strengths against the better roster. So, should be a pretty close one. I just played those Jets week 2, and put up some points against them. The roster's just really. Savant's got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, and I'm sure he can do that. It's just a matter of will he get it done. So I'm going to take the Bengals on the road in that one. I think they win by a field goal as he gets revenge against his old team.
Yeah, the Jets beat the Bengals by 3 touchdowns last year, and I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that happens again this year. I'm going to take the Bengals to win this game by 7, I'm going to say. It'll be a really interesting game. Definitely looking forward to it. We got the Falcons and the Saints. After that, Falcons are 1-2, Saints are 2-1. I know Noop's looking to rebound after a loss last week to the Vikings. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. He has owned this series since the Saints user has come in. I believe he's like 6-0 or 7-0 or something like that. So it'll be really interesting. Who are you going to take in this game, Dean?
Noop is not taking 2 losses in a row. I got him as a lock to win that game by a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't know what happens to this G Money every time he plays Noop, but he just falls apart. I'm going to take the Falcons to win this game big.
Noop's in his head, man. He's got him.
Yeah,
we'll see. If you hear a Saints,
bro.
go get him. Good luck. We got the Panthers and the Vikings. Vikings off to a good start, 2-1 at home. Got them taking this as well and keeping up the tough competition in the NFC North.
Yeah, I think I kind of underestimated Herc a little bit for this season. He's got his team back the way he wants it. He had a strong finish last year. He's going to keep that up. I ran for a mountain of yards. I think I ran for 6 rushing touchdowns against the Panthers, and I know that's what Herc does. So I expect another big blowout here for the Vikings. We got the Ravens and the Browns after that. Chap's 1-2. Leslie's also 1-2, but he got a big win last week over Tampa, 45-7. So I know he's looking to build on that. These two, this entire Madden, they have split most of their games. It seems like every year somebody beats, it's 1-1 or something like that. So it'll be really interesting. I'm going to stick with the Browns here and the Hots for last week. He's got a strong run game. He's going to continue that. He did lose his running back for 6 weeks, but he's got another one in the fold, I believe. He usually does. So I'm going to stick with the Browns here.
I think the Browns, should win this game. However, just because it's that division, I'm going with the wild card. I think Adrian does win. Anything can happen when those two teams play. So I got Adrian on the road, upsetting the Browns.
We'll skip our game, and then we'll come back to that one last.
Sure.
Titans at Colts. I don't believe the Colts have ever beaten the Titans. They've had some games here and there. It seems like that Angel will sneak up on him. Two will sneak up on him. My phone just died. I was going to keep doing the records, but
I don't have that. I got the records here. The Titans, Titans 1-2. Not sure how they're 1-2. That's not common for
two
them.
suspension games. Remember?
Yeah, that'll explain it. So he serves 2 suspensions. Now he's back in the driver's seat. Titans on the road should take care of business, and he's gonna come back and win that division most likely, like he always does. So I got the Titans in that one.
Yeah, I think Twan is here to play, especially with that roster and the 0-2 start. Give me the Titans big.
Bucks and Steelers. The Bucks are 2-1, facing the 1-2 Steelers. The Buccaneers. I'm not sure how the score that Browns game is a little lopsided, but he's a good user. He's a good team. I favor the better team to go into Pittsburgh and win that game.
Yeah, I think so too. Delvin, he plays good defense. His offense has always been spotty. He has a decent run game though. He 30 carries last week or the week before that against Saban. So he does like to run the football. I think he's going to keep this game relatively close in the first half, and I'm going to take the Bucks as well.
The Dolphins at the Lions. Welcome back to Bunny. Bunny played his first game last week after serving suspension a couple weeks ago when he first joined. And Bunny played 2 times. The first time, I was up in the third quarter by a couple scores, and I cut out, so we just replayed. And I didn't actually take the game-winning touchdown until there was like 20 seconds left. So Bunny and I had a tight game, 24-17. Bunny's playing pretty well. He's got 2 fast quarterbacks. He's got Jalen Hurts and I forget the other guy's name. Monroe maybe. He's 94 speed, 6'2", 215 pounds. Bunny likes to run with the quarterback, so that's gonna be a close game. I haven't played the Dolphins. I don't know what he plays like, so I'm just gonna give Bunny the nod because he's eager to get a win with that new team.
Yeah, Dolphins user. He's one of the best defensive and best running users in this league. He had a game 2 years ago. It was like his second game in the league, and he was playing Jimmy, and he only lost 6-3. I mean, it was just one of those. It wasn't even like a whole turnover game. Like both of them just shutting each other down on offense. Um,
Wow.
so we know he can definitely play defense.
That's
Go ahead.
that's just, yeah, that's a strength on strength. So I mean, if he's good at stopping the run, that's what Bunny likes to do.
Yeah, running with the quarterback is a little different. Definitely, you saw my game against you last year. Sometimes users just really struggle against that. I mean, they don't really put themselves in a position to have success against it. I do think that the Dolphins are going to get the win here, but because of Bunny's X factor of being, these two have never played, and he's got his Bunny defense, and yeah, and the running of the quarterback, I think it's going to be a very close game. But give me the Dolphins here.
Yeah, like I said, Tyree had a good game last week, but he would have had a great game. So many plays, they had the guys wide open, and Bunny's splits just got to me right in time. I had like 6 sacks, so
It
Bunny can
hurts.
get some pressure on the quarterback. We got the Patriots 3-0, facing a winless team, the Chargers. The Chargers, I don't think he was able to play his last game. Hopefully he gets this one in. I'm going with the Patriots. They got a pretty good roster. Just keeping up that unbeaten streak at 3-0.
Yeah, 2 years ago I picked. I was messing with the Pats. He went 4-12, and so at the beginning of last year I picked him to finish third or fourth in his division. Man, he showed me wrong. He came out and he finished like 12-4. He got a wild card, ended up beating the team that he lost to in the division, the Jets. Made the AFC title game, and since last season he has been on a roll. He's got Jacob Eason working very well for him. I don't know much about this Chargers user. I think he played his week 1 game. I don't think he played last week or the one before that. But I assume that he's going to get back on track and play this game. I'm going to take the Patriots here.
Have two-and-one teams. The Raiders is essentially playing with a free agent team right now. Looks like they're, winning a couple of games. Maybe sign up 18 free agents and free.
Here, unplug your mic and plug it back in, Dean. It's cutting out a little
Sure.
bit.
Yes. You hear me now?
Yes.
So the Raiders, they have 18 free agents that they signed this year. They're off to a 2-1 start, hosting the Cardinals, who are also 2-1. Should be a pretty good game. I don't even know, what the play styles are for the Cardinals. I haven't watched them a whole lot. I know what the Raiders likes to do. That's going to come down to turnovers. I'll take the Raiders in a close one.
I think that the Cardinals are consistently one of the more underrated teams in the league. He's got a strong run game, decent defense. He lost a few pieces in the offseason, wasn't able to retain them, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. He was basically shut out last week against Jimmy until a last-second play, but did a good job defensively, only holding him to 22 points. So I think that this is going to be a close game through, I'll say, 3 quarters, but I've got the Cardinals by about 14 points here, maybe 10 points. It's going to be a tough game. Looking forward to it, though.
Got the Rams and the Eagles. Eagles lost that Week 1 game actually to the Cardinals, but since then they've been on a roll with 2 straight wins. And obviously the Rams undefeated, defending that Super Bowl. Should be a good game. Really hard to pick against the Rams, so I won't. But I think the Eagles has a chance to do some damage.
Man, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If T. Lou comes out to play and he's like playing his A game, I'm calling the upset here. Whenever he seems to like lean forward and really focus on his game and stuff like that, and the defense plays the way it's supposed to, and he's got his offense rolling, he beats people. He is really definitely one of the more underrated users in the league. Like the Cardinals, I'm gonna take Jimmy in a real close game. I'm gonna say 3, but it would not surprise me if the Eagles won the game.
And you can't count the Eagles. If he gets off to a bad start, it's not over. I was up 20-0 against the Eagles at the end of last season. The game didn't really matter for me, but I wasn't trying to lose, and he came back and put up like 40 straight points. So Eagles can play. That should be a good game. We got the Bills and the Broncos, undefeated Bills facing the 1-2 Broncos. Both pretty good users. E-Fly's playing some great ball. I really don't want to pick against him, but I believe in what the Broncos users does. He's fantastic, I think. Just knowing that he needs that win, I think he finds a way to upset E-Fly.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. This is a rematch from last year's wild card round, where the Broncos won. It was a relatively close game most of the game. Broncos did slip away. He plays such good defense, man. I mean, just ridiculous. He's got lots of speed on offense. Yeah, I don't think Eli beat me last week. Aside from his running game, I don't think defensively he played all that spectacularly. But I'm going to take the Bills to win a close game here. I believe in what he's got going on in Buffalo. I've picked him to win the division, I think, 3 or 4 times over the last 8 years. He's never done it, but he's going to do it this year, I think, maybe. We'll see. But I'm going to take the Bills for the upset here on the road.
We got an NFC East statement game for either team. The Giants undefeated, trying to claim their division, or at least keep pace, keep ahead of the Eagles by a game there, and then the Cowboys at 1-2, coming off of the first win of the season. I don't know, Pace has been pretty sharp recently. Um, Giants, if I had to, since I had to pick one, just a good game. It's a divisional game. We can watch that one as well. But in New York.
It's going to be interesting. These two teams played week 1, I believe, or was it week 2? When was it? Let me see. I thought these two teams had played already this year. Could be mistaken. Yeah, they did, week 2. Giants won 31-7 in that matchup. Peso generally owns the series, although Dwayne's beaten him a few times. I think the last 2 weeks, or the last week, Peso won by 3 points, and week 1, I think he also won by 3 points. So he's playing decently well. He's got the team off to 3-0. He's got strong running game going on. I think I'm going to take the Giants to win here, but it wouldn't surprise me if Dwayne kept it real close and it was a last-second victory or something like that.
The final game, there is going to be a winner because both of these teams have not won yet, the Seahawks and the Niners. So one of those teams will have the first win unless they tie somehow. We got the Seahawks on the road against the Niners. I played the Niners this year already. He was actually a pretty good game. It wasn't, he almost,
He beat me 2 years ago in the regular season.
So there's two teams dead.
You're cutting out really hard again. I'm trying to unplug it.
For a win, it's going to come down to whoever turns the ball over less and converts that into points. So I know the Seahawks have some trouble with turnovers time to time, but I still see him getting the win and getting that first win and trying to get his season back on track.
Yeah, I am. I generally talk about how the Niners are such a good defensive user, but he got blown out by the Eagles earlier this year. So I'm not really sure how his defense has been going. He gave up 31 to you, and by all recollection of what you said, it probably could have been a little more than that. I gave up 42 last week to Washington. So I'm not really sure what's going on with his team. I know his offense is relatively old as well. I think that Seattle needs to get back on track and that they're going to do it this week. So I'm going to take the Seahawks here by a few scores.
That was the last game, so the only game left to discuss is our game. I don't know. I got a good feeling the Packers will win that game, but at the same time, it's in Chicago, so it really just depends on who shows up to play.
Both of us are 2-1, right? And did you lose last week, or was that the week before last? Yeah, you won last week. That's right, and you lost to the Jets. Both of our losses are to undefeated teams, so it should be really interesting to see who wins this game. I can't pick against myself. I already told Herc that I think I'm going to finish 6-0, so I think this is going to be a very close game. Bears definitely want some revenge off last year. I'll tell you one thing, we're not running man-to-man on that tight end. Or your new tight end, too, the mega weapon, Mike Evans. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be more about if I can stop you offensively to see how this game goes. I think that'll be the telling tale. I think if you have a lot of yards and a lot of points, you're going to win the game. I think if I hold you pretty low to a low-scoring game, I'll win.
Very true, and we got some new pieces in Green Bay with T. Higgins, so we'll see how that matches up against that Bears defense.
Yeah, I don't like playing against T. Higgins. Every time I played him, he always burned me.
Those are your weekly predictions. Everybody, good luck. Get your games in, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, too easy. All right.